Hey everyone. Alright, let me bring this over. Found this interesting. This came up today on the feed, so I figured we'd go through the video real quick and just see what people here are capable of. You probably already know, but it's doesn't hurt to see an example. So this is Saudi Arabia. I guess the border guards committing mass murder at the border, Yemen border, allegedly, per the Human Rights Watch. I'm sure they did the research, and they do. I've watched it one time, so they go into kind of how they got these numbers. So let's take a look. That's good.
Even when I remember, I cry. I saw a guy calling for help. He lost both his legs. He was screaming and saying, "Are you leaving me here? Please don't leave me." We couldn't help him because we were running for our lives.
Yeah.
Ethiopian migrants and asylum seekers have been tortured, injured, or killed by Saudi Arabian border guards at the Yemen-Saudi border.
All right, so let's jump over here real quick just to see, because this is quite a hike actually. You got to get all the way over here. Got to get across here. Get all the way. That's quite a hike. So they're going all this way. They trek all this way to escape from Ethiopia, and unfortunately, they're going to a majority Muslim country, who probably act like Muhammad, which apparently, from the allegations here, that's exactly what they're doing. So let's watch it and see how it ends up.
At least hundreds have been killed trying to make this crossing between March 2022 and June 2023.
A little over a year.
When Saudi border guards see a group, they fire continuously. When they kill everyone, they go down to collect all those who didn't.
All right, so that's just mass murder. They're literally just firing as much as they can, trying to kill everyone, and then they go down to check to see who's alive. They're not defending themselves, there's no one, the refugees aren't like shooting at them, anything like trying to stab them or anything. They're literally just shooting them. There's probably like a mass of people and they're just kind of shooting into them with automatic weapons, it sounds like. Wow. Just callous disregard for human life. Absolute selfishness. If this is true, they just do not care. They don't value human life. They could care less, because they must think that there are no repercussions for actions like that.
Die. This is what happened to me. I survived, and they came to meet me and showed me the dead.
Sick.
Then they took us to a detention center and beat us all there.
Right, so it's not bad enough you just shot everybody. Then you're going to show this girl all of these dead bodies, right? And then you're going to take them to a detention center and beat them up. After all that, like, how sick and disgusting of a human person are you? You literally are just morally bankrupt. You can sit around and shoot people you don't even know. Then you go down and you threaten the person who you happen to miss and didn't kill. And then after that, you take them down to jail and you beat them. Right? Is there anything else you want to do? That's not bad enough? I have no idea how you sleep at night. But rest assured that when you're no longer with us, it's not going to end well.
Human Rights Watch's extensive investigation includes first-hand accounts from 42 people and the verification and geolocation of over 100 videos and photos, and the analysis of hundreds of square kilometers of satellite.
Okay, so they got lots of evidence to back this up. Geolocated videos. Okay. Imagery. Mm-hmm.
We found evidence that Saudi border guards have used explosive weapons and shot people at close range.
That's just terrorizing people. You're just having fun at that point. Explosive weapons against people that have walked all this way, right? They've come I don't know the exact route, but they came all this way, all the way up here. Exhausted, probably dehydrated, hungry. They get there and you're hitting them with explosive weapons and automatic fire. And then if they happen to be lucky enough to not die, you scoop them up, throw them in jail, and beat them. That's the kind of sick, depraved people you are. Whoever this is, if this is accurate. But I would assume they've done their research, otherwise they wouldn't publish a video like this. And they've got geolocated videos and testimony. So,
in what appears to be a policy targeting migrants and asylum seekers, including women and children, at the border.
women and children, right? A real threat there. Non-combatants, women, little kids.
Human Rights Watch believes this may amount to crimes against humanity.
Yes. Yeah. If that's true, absolutely. Why wouldn't it? It's not a war. It's not like you're sitting up there and you're shooting at each other, you're fighting over land or resources or whatever other stupid thing, we fight over. These are just refugees walking around exhausted from a long walk, right? Trying to escape for political reasons or who knows, financial reasons, I'm not sure. But it's bad enough to want to go through this. And then they get there, they finally make it, and unfortunately they go to a majority Muslim country with a bunch of security guards that are acting like little baby Muhammads, shooting at everybody, beating them up, throwing them in jail, just acting like savages.
Saudi Arabia's border forces should stop intentionally using lethal force to kill Ethiopian migrants and asylum seekers with explosive weapons.
They basically treat them like we treat the animals. That's kind of how they look at them. They look at them as like their lives don't matter. So we don't care, let's just kill them. I mean, with us, with the animals, right? We just kill them and eat them, who cares, right? That's how they treat these people. The border guards are acting like little baby Muhammads, and they're treating them like we treat animals.
It was during the night. We were traveling toward the Saudi border. Then we saw Saudi border guards. They told us to stop. While they walked towards us, they opened fire and fired a bullet at us. One bullet hit a rock and hit my leg. My leg is broken around my knee.
Oof.
While many migrate for economic reasons, including
okay.
drought, a number of Ethiopians have fled because of serious human rights abuses by their government, including during the recent brutal armed conflict in northern Ethiopia.
Yeah, and all you violent dictators that are just completely oppressing people, your day is coming. It's on the way. It's already been purchased, it's in the mail, it's being delivered. So enjoy the time that you have left.
When the firing stopped, the Saudi border guards took us. In my group, there were 7 people, 5 men and 2 girls. The border guards made us remove our clothes and they told us to rape the girls.
You're disgusting. Disgusting people. That is nasty. Like, that's literally, you're enjoying it. You're having fun just defiling people, murdering them. Like, you're the worst that this place has to offer, if this is true. And I'm sure they did their research before releasing a video like this. If that's true, you are disgusting individuals that don't deserve to be here. And when you check out, things are not going to be okay for you.
The girls were 15 years old. One of the men refused. The border guards killed him on the spot.
Imagine being that person. You see somebody that says, no, I won't do it, so they shoot and kill them. So it's either you die or you commit this heinous crime against this girl who doesn't deserve it.
Participated in the rape. Yes. To survive, I did it. The girls...
And imagine how evil of a person you have to be to put someone else in a situation like that. It reminds me, I saw a video, it was about a week or so ago. I don't know where it was, I forget where it was, but it was like some kind of cartel violence. And they put up, it was like a job post or something. They put up a job post. And these 5 or 6 people showed up. And somehow they got them and they took them somewhere. And they basically... They got one of them. I think it was the same kind of situation where they say, look, you either kill some of these people to be in the gang or whatever it is. And if you don't do it, we'll just kill you. So it's essentially, they're going to make you commit a heinous sin. You're going to have to murder. And these people knew each other. So one of these people, they had to murder one of their friends or acquaintances. And then after they did that, these savages still killed them. So they got you to commit murder right before they killed you. That's the kind of folks we're dealing with. So if you think that evil doesn't exist, I'm sure you can find a few examples on the internet that will show you that that's not true. All right? We're in a place, a fallen world currently, where people have free will. And you're allowed to make good decisions and bad decisions and horrible decisions. Right? Because here, at least until recently, we've been separated from God. Things are slightly different now, but still, people have free will. So it's going to take a minute to get cleaned up. But if you think that this place was designed in such a way that you can get away with stuff like this and you don't have to pay the price, you're crazy. Because God is good and God is benevolent. And God doesn't believe in treating people like this. This is how you treat people if you want to put them in a hellish environment. You would send them somewhere where stuff like this happens. So if you think you're getting away with something like this, you absolutely are not, and you will pay the price.
Survived because they didn't refuse. This happened at the same spot where the killing took place.
So that was where they shot everybody. And then they tell you, you're either going to rape this person or we're going to kill you. Those are the kind of savages you're dealing with. And trust me, Muhammad, I'm sure he would approve.
This dangerous migration route, often referred to as the Eastern Route, spans from the Horn of Africa, across the Gulf of Aden, through Yemen, and into Saudi Arabia.
You go through all that.
Migrants and asylum seekers crossing into Saudi Arabia usually do so in the mountainous border area, aided by a network of smugglers and traffickers, and facilitated by the Houthi forces who control northern Yemen.
We walked in the mountains for about 5 days.
5
We walked in
days.
groups.
When's the last time you've hiked for 5 days with limited resources, whatever you can carry? That does not sound pleasant. That sounds quite difficult. And then you get through all that, especially for a female. And you get some savage border guards who force an innocent person, a refugee, to rape you or they die. And this is after you watch a bunch of people get mowed down with automatic weapons and mortars, or whatever kind of explosive weapons they used. I don't know.
Minimum 300 people, and
300
most
people.
of the group was female. Then there was firing from the border guards, and they were firing big rocket launchers at us. It was like a bomb. Of the 300 people, 150.
Yeah, they're just sitting there having target practice on people that they see as less than human. When in actuality, they're the ones who are less than human. They don't deserve to be humans acting like that. That's someone who takes their free will and abuses it to the max and deserves whatever penalty God wishes to dish out. And I would hope that it's severe if these allegations are true.
Died.
Smugglers operating in Yemen take people to 2 informal camps before attempting to cross the border. Al Thabit camp is located northwest of the border, and Al Raqqa camp has only a river separating it from Saudi Arabia. Both camps act as holding areas with thousands of people preparing to cross the border. Many interviewees said Houthi forces controlled the entry and exit into the camps and would often extort bribes from the migrants or transfer them to detention centers.
That's nice. So you travel all that way, and before you can even try to get in, you get a shakedown. A jizya, or whatever they call it. Basically a shakedown. They want money. And if you don't pay it, they're not going to let you get through.
Migrants and asylum seekers often saw Saudi border guards patrolling the crossing points in large vehicles with what witnesses described as large objects mounted on the back of their vehicles believed to be weapons. Human Rights Watch interviewed survivors who say they lost 1 or more limbs due to the use of explosive weapons or shootings at the border.
The Saudi border guards were firing big things like a mortar to us. They fired from the back of a truck. We lost 130 people
In one
that
day.
The
In
majority
one day.
were women and the children.
Although the number of deaths has not been confirmed, Human Rights Watch has identified at least 8 burial sites near Al
8 burial
Raqqa camp
sites. Wow.
and has counted at least.
All right. Well, I would say there's at least something to it. They got satellite imagery here, and those look like graves. So, as of June 2023, and those are the ones that are official. I imagine how many are just tucked away somewhere that aren't in like an official grave. So it could be much, much higher than that.
287 graves on satellite images as of June 2023. Many have described bodies being buried in remote areas or left unburied along the route. They describe a pattern of large-scale violence and cross-border killings.
Geolocated, yeah.
This video was...
And look at that terrain. Like, even a 5-day hike on like semi-flat terrain is kind of a lot. Look at this terrain. You're hiking 5 days through this, up and down mountains. Imagine going through all that just to get shot or beat up or raped or blown up with explosives. It's unimaginable. People are just so callous and they don't care. They treat other people like animals, essentially.
Sent to and verified by Human Rights Watch. The video shows the bodies of at least 2 migrants hidden under bushes just north of the trail from Al Thabit camp in Saudi Arabia. A likely Saudi border guard post is visible approximately 1.3 kilometers away from where the bodies were found. Humanitarian assistance and safe passage should be provided to migrants and asylum seekers trying to cross the border from Yemen to Saudi Arabia. And those responsible for what may amount to crimes against humanity should be held accountable.
Box truck or something? What is that? Oh my gosh. This is horrible. Yeah, so I'm sure they put the research in before they would actually release a video like this, right? You want to make sure you're correct before you accuse someone of something like this. But those are definitely crimes against humanity. But more importantly, those are crimes that is not going to please God. Right, those are people who are fleeing oppression. I would guess the majority of them. I don't know their exact details, but to hike 5 days through that kind of terrain with very little, resources with you, just trying to get a better life, essentially, and then you run up against some people that are acting like demons, right? For fun, they sit there and shoot you with automatic weapons. They force you to rape other people. They beat you up. They throw you in jail. They do all of that, blow you up. All of the heinous things you could possibly do to someone, they do. And it must be because they don't think that God exists. And they don't think that you're in a created environment, right? God created everything, all of it. And we were given free will. And some days you wonder, if that was the best choice. But that's the choice that was made. So we have free will in this place. Until recently, we've been separated from God somewhat. So things are a little different now. But people are capable of absolutely horrible things. But thankfully, there's a fail-safe installed in the system, and it's called God. And it's called eternity. And it means you have a lot of time to balance scales out. Plenty of time. Nothing but time. So if you think that you're going to act like this, like some heinous piece of garbage with no ethical or moral values at all, you can do that for a little while. But you're going to have to pay the bill because your body is not going to last forever. Hopefully, retribution will happen or justice. Hopefully justice will be served while you're here, but just in case it isn't, it will be served after you pass on. So you can take that up with God whenever you die. But I would recommend that you don't treat people like that. Treat people how you want to be treated. Right? Simple. You don't want to be raped. You don't want to be beat up. You don't want to be thrown into a prison. You don't want to be shot. You don't want to be blown up. Right? You don't want any of those things. So it's very simple. Don't do those to other people, because you will have those things done to you. But that's up to God. It's not up to me. So, simple. Treat people the way you want to be treated, because that very same action could happen to you. So just keep that in mind. It's a very simple way to think about things here. But if you think you're getting away with this, even if you didn't find those graves, right? Even if you didn't find them, even if no one ever knew, someone does know. God knows, right? You think the government has surveillance? You think artificial intelligence is impressive at predicting activities? No one can top what God knows is happening, is going to happen, what has happened. You can't hide anything. So all those horrible things you do, it's all in your file. And when your body expires, and one day it will, it's just a vessel, there's going to be a bill that needs to get paid. And you're going to pay that bill, right? The scales get balanced. So don't act like these folks, like these border guards. Don't act like that unless you like pain. So that's it for now. Have a great day. And just remember that God loves us and wants to provide guidance so that we can have a wonderful time here and a wonderful eternity, a great journey. You're not going to have a great journey if you act like those people. That's it.